So we're going to start recording now. Okay.
All
Good
right.
afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon. So good to see you all. So we're just going to jump right in. So notice that there are 3 of you now. And so what is the process of restructuring like? Because it's already a dedicated brand. So how did you go about restructuring with just the 3 of you?
It was tough. We had to redo everything from all our licenses, taxes, you name it. We had to do a lot. We were able to maneuver it because there's 3 of us, but at the same time, it's a lot of work because they don't make it easy for you to get your license, tobacconist license, in order to do this business properly. Plus, we had to redo our website, have a whole nother domain name. So it was kind of tough. You know, it was a lot of work involved in it.
So was it as hard as when you first started it? Because I know when you change, I guess, you know, your licensing and taxes and all that, was it as hard as the beginning, or did it make it easier because you knew the steps to go through?
It was harder.
Oh, wow.
It was harder because when I say you have to change everything, you have to change every single thing. You know, so it's like we had to really start from the bottom, and you know, and then also too to get I guess to say our followers or our customers, to let them know that we switched everything over. So it was a lot of work. It wasn't how can I say, it just wasn't an easy thing to do, but we knew we had to do it.
So are you going to put out more cigars, like more like different flavors, or like different like you have 8? Is it 8 that you have? So are you going to add to that, or are you going to start a whole different line?
So right now we still have the 7 that we started with, and then we have the petites, which is the 3 different flavors: the cognac, the Grand Marnier, and the cinnamon.
Okay.
So we right now we're going to stay with that. I think we're going to make some changes coming up. We're discussing that now, so that we can, you know, we like to bring in new and improve product, you know, because at the end of the day, people don't realize, but this is a customer service business.
Yes.
You have to really make sure that you are providing to the public and to your customers what they're asking for. So
do you foresee that you're going to be going out to different events, or are you going to focus more on trying to be inside of brick and mortar cigar lounges?
We're still going to do both. So we are going to still be doing events. We have an event this evening. And we are still looking to get into more cigar lounges as well. Yes, definitely.
Now, how is that process? How is the process getting into a cigar lounge? I saw an interview the other day that said it's very hard unless you know the owner of the cigar lounge. Is it really that hard? I mean, because he made it sound like it was like pulling teeth to get into a cigar lounge. Is it that hard?
I think and I know that my partners could speak better on this, but I think since we are a boutique brand, I think it is harder. I think that you know, because right now we're just in the DMV, but we really haven't gone outside of the DMV yet. So but you know, it's not easy persuading people to buy, you know, your cigars. You have to really do some talking, and you know, we're just really starting out with that, even though we are on 2 shelves, but still that's inside the DMV.
Okay, so go ahead, LaShawn.
I know it is about getting them to trust you, you know, so you go and you talk, and you go and you talk, and you go and you talk, and you go and you smoke. You give them several cigars to try. You know, you may do that a couple times, you know, 2, 3, depends on, you know, you do a cut and light. you do a whole lot of things. You know, it's about getting them to trust you, getting them to smoke your brand, getting them to understand that even if we're not there,
Mhm.
our cigars will still sell on your shelves. You know, we don't have to be there to sell them for you. Our cigars will sell on your shelf. We do have a very good product, and it's about keeping our product
Now,
good.
has anyone challenged you on the name of your cigar when you go to put them in the cigar shop or when you're talking to a cigar owner? Because, you know, Southeast, that's, you know, people from DMV, we know what that means, but
Right.
people may not know. So do you
But
think,
when you say challenge, what do you mean? Like, do they
like, oh, what is that? Like, why is it,
Right.
and why is it not Southeast? You know what I mean? Like, why is it like some people will see a name and be,
Mhm,
"Oh, I don't know if that's going to go over big in my store."
mhm.
I
I
think
think-
I
oh,
don't,
go
I don't
ahead,
feel
Cuz.
that, but you go ahead, Luan.
No, I was going to say, I think for each of our cigars, each of the names, people have asked several, all the time, well, how did you get your names? Where did the names come from? And in particular, the Southeast. Now, people, like you said, from this area, the local DMV, people know what Southeast is. Or they say,
Right.
and people always say, Southeast, because a lot of people came from that area too, such as us, by way of born or, passage or what have you. But we just explain, we answer every question. So people are asked, where does it come from? So we explain, that this is we pay homage to where we come from, our background in the local DMV area. This is where, ATF Above the Flame Cigars was born, being established right here. And as with any other cigars, some people get the one with the Grand Marnier flavor, we say, this is sweet ash, and that sweet what? I say, sweet ash with an H.
Right.
Sweet ash with an H. We're not, we're classy, we classy women, classy brand, but and it just becomes fun, just explaining to people, and people get it and they ask about it. And they understand, say, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll take a couple of those, I'll take a couple of that over there. So it's really just, as LaShawna Rochelle alluded to earlier, it's just really educating our customers, and we don't have a problem, explaining, answering the questions, all of that. It's a part of marketing our brand. And we do have to do it, I think, twice as hard, because being Black women in this industry and a boutique brand, it's, you have to, as Sean and Rochelle said earlier, again, it's, being in these lounges, you have to court them just like you're courting anything else. If you want someone to purchase, you go to a dealership, that salesperson has got to know their product and has got to convince you, even though you kind of, you have an idea of what you're looking for, but sometimes that salesperson can make or break your, your deal. So we talk to the owners, we're talking in e-commerce, the same thing. People respond back to give us reviews, to ask questions. And we respond back immediately, answering those questions regardless, because I think it's important to educate the public on what we know, and we have to know our brand, we have to know this industry, and not saying we know everything, but we're learning as we go. But we have a lot of knowledge behind us. My other two partners that's on the line now, cigar aficionados, since they were probably two.
Not too.
But they
gosh.
really have that knowledge. They have the knowledge of the smoke, the cigars, the strengths, the flavors, the binders, the wrappers, those things. That's what their strength to me has brought to the table for me being as novice as I am, as I was before I came into this business. So it's just important again to answer everyone's question and explain everything that they come at us with.
Now, are you planning on bringing out different sizes of your cigars? I know most of your cigars are around the same size, except for the petites, of course. But are you going to keep about the same ring gauge and sizes? Or are you going to go up a little bit? Are you going to do Lanceros? Like, what is on the horizon?
So I think that we, like I said earlier, we are in discussion about, what we're going to do next, especially since we changed some things. And we are looking to bring product that we think that the public would like. And what I mean by the public, that means everyone. So I think that we are going to change a few things. We're still thinking about it. It takes some time. And then we also like to smoke our own product just to
Okay.
see what we're offering. Even though everyone's palate is different, again, we want to bring something that, you know, we want to have something in our startup that everyone enjoys. You know, it doesn't have to be all 7 of our cigars, but we would like that. However, again, people's palates are different, so they're going to have different opinions.
Yeah.
Now, when you do, I'm always intrigued about the whole process from start to, you know, how you find your leaves to how the wrapper and the binder and the filler and all that. So because you have an established brand right now, does the leaves change with every order that you make? Like, you know, once your stock is out, then you have to order more. Are those same leaves? Do they put them aside? Do they have them in a separate warehouse? Like, how is that process?
They put them aside. Our leaves don't differ very much in terms of the cigar. For instance, like Southeast, we know what type of leaves we're going to get with that, and they know what we expect. You know, and when you have hand rolled product, of course, they don't all look exactly alike. They'll be slightly different, but people can't really tell that unless you really look at your product.
Okay.
So it's like it's not like we're gonna get the same leaf from Southeast versus our naked. It's not like that we're gonna get those same leaves. They're gonna be mixed up. Okay, now Southeast tastes like naked. No. It's not that type of thing. So it is definitely, they stick to what we ask for. And again, it's hand rolled. So, you know, our product may take slightly a little bit longer to get, but thus far we have been getting what we want.
Yeah.
So now, how is marketing going? I know I asked this last time you all were on, and because the last time you were on, it seems like the market has now been saturated with a lot of smaller boutique brands.
Yeah.
So how has your marketing had to change with the saturation now? I mean, it is like every day I'm seeing at least 5 or 6 new brands, new boutique brands. So how have you had to adjust your marketing strategy for that?
I would say in terms of when we're out, well, one, since we had to reorganize, so that adjusted our marketing initiatives altogether. But in terms of being out there and, you know, we stay the course. We're still, you know, being competitive. But a lot of things differentiate us is, you know, when you have your own brand, you have your own branded cigar, you may see different cigar names or companies come up, but do they have their own brand and their, you know, hand rolled cigars, or they carry other people's brand under their brand name? For instance, people come up to when we're at events and ask, well, do you carry, you know, Olivia, do you carry Jewel? Say, do you have Java Man? No, this is ATF Above the Flame cigars. This is our own brand of cigars that we, you know, we work to curate and everything. And people really become even intrigued at that point. Oh, this is your line of cigars. It's like, yes, it is. We're not going to carry anyone else's, but you can find a comparable based on your strength or your palate. You can definitely find a comparable smoke within our lineup. So I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
So how do you address, you know, some people come up to you and say, well, I like Java Mint. So what do you have like that? Like, how do you address that? Because I know it's, you know, people always want to compare it to something.
Absolutely.
Monte Cristo White. So do you have anything like that? How do you address that?
Well, you know, because when they ask a lot of times, because of course, you know, we smoke, so we've smoked a lot, different brands, so different blends. And a lot of times if they come up and say, you know, well, I like this one, if I haven't smoked it myself or heard about it and researched it, then I'll ask them, well, you know, what's the flavor profile, something like that. And I can lead them, you know, we're able to say, okay, well, look, you can look at our naked, you know, the naked will be comparable, or, you know, wicked, depends on the flavor that they're looking for, the strength that they're looking for, all of that. So based on smoking, you know, often and different brands, then you're able to do that and tell them, okay, what's comparable in our brand versus the Drew Estates, the Ligas, things like that.
Okay. So, and what if you had a new smoker, say, you know, somebody come up and they're just beginning to smoke and they just really don't know what their palate is. Which one of your cigars would you suggest for them?
Sweet Ash.
Yeah.
Sweet Ash,
Honey
because it's a
smoke.
Grand Marnier. It has the mild flavor, honey smoke as well. Honey smoke is a very smooth taste throughout. It's not a sweet cigar, but you taste the sweetness because it has a sugar tip and you can taste the sugar on your tongue. So that's very, that when they hear that, oh, it's the sugar, you have a sugar tip, you know, they like that as well. But something that's very mild, nothing that's going to make them feel ill, nothing that they have to be full to be able to, you know, smoke. You know, we want to make sure that if you're a novice and you haven't smoked before and you're brand new to this, we want to make sure that you're comfortable with what you're smoking and you're going to be happy with it and come back.
Listen, because when I first started, no one ever told me that there's mild to medium to full. But you're like, I just was smoking. Oh, I was all over the place. So it's good to know that within your brand that you do have that if someone walks up to you and says, hey, I'm new to this, but I don't want anything, you know, too heavy or too full or, you know, nothing too out of the way for them. So with that one being your mildest, which one is your most full bodied?
Southeast.
Yeah.
Southeast is our fullest body. And then, you know, I would say Naked as well is close to Southeast, but right now Southeast is our darkest sleeve, it's our fullest body. So that one is, you know, we don't, like you said, when a novice comes up, we really try to educate people because smoking is not a trend for us. It just isn't. This is something that we enjoy and we try to educate people so that they can have the same enjoyment, you know, and that's why we carry such a wide range. That's why we have 7 cigars and we have our petites too. Now they're not as mild as, as mild as Sweet Ash and Honey Smoke. However, they're like more a little bit leaning towards the medium because just because they're petite, that doesn't mean that they're not a cigar. They are.
And do you get that a lot? Do people say, oh, that's a petite? That's, you know, I don't really smoke petites.
Yep.
Yes.
But we're finding that we're getting that everyone is starting to really lean towards the petites. Everyone's starting, especially because they're in their flavors too. So people think, oh, their flavors and their petites, that's not my interest. And we all say, hey, try it. Don't knock it until you try it. You will be pleasantly surprised.
Absolutely.
So how many events do you plan on doing for this? You know, it's a little chilly outside, so the events will start to really get going somewhere around, you know, March, April. So how many events are you foreseeing that you're going to try to do this year?
Oh, there's a lot out there.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I know there's probably about 5 that we are locked into from doing last year. Some new opportunities have been presented to us. So, and we take every opportunity, every invitation as an opportunity. So, you know, whether it's to vend, it's not just, vending, but it's also networking. That's a huge benefit from doing these different events and marketing, getting our brand out there, letting people know who we are, who ATF Above the Flame cigars are, who LaShawn, Rochelle, and Sherry are, and associating that with our brand. So when you hear our name, when you see our brand, when you see our brand name, you think of us, or if you see us, you think of ATF Above the Flame cigars and the cigar that you smoke. So I'd say probably about now, we're locked into looking into about 5.
So do you have any interest? You know, most cigar people always want to go out to Las Vegas to the Big Smoke, the PCA or TP or whatever. So do you have, is that in your plans to do that this year or, next year?
We're not sure about, I'm sorry.
No, because
We're not sure about this year, but we're kind of leaning towards it. It depends on how our summer goes and how things pan out that way, because when you start to do these events, we have to travel, we have to do a lot of things. Vegas would be easy for us because we have family in Vegas. My mom is in Vegas, my brother's in Vegas, so we wouldn't have to worry about our accommodations and things of that nature. But we would love to do the big smoke, and I think that we are looking towards getting involved in that, because we talked about that a year and a half ago.
Indeed.
So they are definitely on our list of things to do.
Yes. One thing with PCA, you have to be a member in order to be a member. Members is really a members only association. So in order to, as an e-commerce business, you have to be affiliated with a member has a brick and mortar. So that's another benefit for getting onto retail shelves. So we can affiliate there and become an associate member and then be able to participate in their different events. They also do local events because their marketing department is located here in DC. But yeah, so we definitely plan to do that. Yes.
Now, do you have any plans for the Baltimore, near the Annapolis locations? I did not realize that there are quite a few cigars.
Yes.
I mean, Baltimore feels like it's a different country when you go there, like everybody says Waldorf is. So, when I go to Baltimore, I'm like, oh, I'm a cigar. But then I just realized there's so many cigars there.
Yes.
So have
I
you
live in
made that
Baltimore.
trek?
So I live in because I live in Baltimore, we are definitely going to hit this area. Our event tonight is here in Baltimore, and it's a semi-formal event. Then you have CIAA too, that's in Baltimore, which is nice because it really changes a lot of things for Baltimore. But there's a lot of lounges going towards Annapolis as well. And trust me, we're since our rearrangement, it slowed us just slightly, but when we came back, I believe, even better, because when you think about, like you said, there's like every few days, there's a new brand popping up, or I don't want to say brand, but there's a new group popping up in terms of who's selling cigars or, just having groups. But what we do, what differentiates us is that we have a true e-commerce. So, and again, it's a lot of blood and sweat that goes into this. It's not just like, okay, I want a website, because tobacco is highly, regulated.
Right.
So again, you can't just step out there and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna use PayPal, I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna use that, because they'll cut you off in a minute and say, no, you sell tobacco. We don't do that. So it's really a lot of research, and having your license is a big deal. Again, the clerk of the court has to sign off on you getting a tobacconist license. And then they physically come out to your home and they do a whole inspection.
Really?
Not once, it happened to us twice, because with the license for the tobacconist license, and the second time when we did the merchant banker, in order for us to be able to take credit card payments and have a true e-commerce website, they came out, they were more intrusive than the Baltimore City. They were really intrusive. So it was just a lot, and people don't realize that. And I think this what makes us stand out from a lot of folks too, because we're not selling cigars out our trunk, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. However you feel that your hustle should be, I believe that's how you should do it. But I think that we really want to do things decent and in order. We don't want the feds knocking at our door saying, hey, you all are selling, making all this money off these cigars, you're not paying taxes. See, all that's involved, and people don't understand that. We have a true boutique cigar business. It's not just, we just jumped up and, We did a lot of research, and like my partner said, and my cousins, we had to smoke a lot too, to really figure out our product. So we're not just gonna just sell anything. We are really gonna think about it, see what we're smoking. So when we offer it to our customers, our clientele, we know exactly what we got.
So I know that two of you are certified tobacconists, correct?
All three of us are.
All three of you. So is there something that you have to like, what is it? Be like retested? Like, is it like levels to it? Or is it once you've done it, it is done and you're certified forever and a day?
So when you say certified, okay, I'm thinking we're all tobacconists. We're all licensed tobacconists.
Okay.
So there's no test for that, but there's a whole lot of red tape behind that, because they will not give you any type of license unless you have an EIN. That means the IRS knows that you have a business that they're going to get paid from. You have to have your state sales and use tax. You have to have all these things in order. You just do, in order to even get the clerk to sign off on it. You have to have all this paperwork. And before they even put their signature on it, you've had that inspection, you've had all your paperwork in order, you're registered with the state, you got your sales and use, you got your EIN. It's not as easy as people think it is.
And that's a good thing for people to understand, that this is not, I've smoked enough cigars and I'm going to slap a label on something. I'm going to start selling them. It really is about taking care of business. Like there's a paperwork component that needs to happen before you actually have a product. And then after that is quality control. So
yes.
About like, do you all label your own cigars, or is all that taken care of for you and then you get the product?
Everything is taken care of for us. We try hard not to constantly handle our product, because this is something you got to put in your mouth and smoke. Okay. And not to say that we would do anything to hurt anybody, but if we had to handle it, we use gloves, but we don't. Everything comes labeled, wrapped, everything from the design of our cigar labels. We implemented all that, but at where our cigars are being rolled at, that's where everything takes place.
Got you. Okay, so tell everyone your new Instagram handles or handle, and are you on Facebook as well?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry. So our Instagram and Facebook handle is the same. It's going to be ATF Cigars LLC, at ATF Cigars LLC, and the same thing for our Facebook. It's at ATF Cigars LLC.
Okay. So the event tonight is a private event, but tell us, because this is going to air somewhere at the beginning of March. So what you have planned, is it somewhere that we can meet you in the month of March or April?
Right now, we don't have anything scheduled for March, but what we do is, as soon as we book an event, something that's not private, anything that, even if we're going to be at a pop-up, we put it on all of our social media, just to put a blast out there and let everyone know where we're going to be, what time and all of that. And, just to come through and support. And a lot of times we'll do that several times up until that day of the event, and then a lot of times at the event we'll go live and all of that. So we don't have anything right now planned for March. But we are looking for a few things.
Okay. So, and they can order their cigars through your website, correct?
Yes. So I'm sorry, I want to make a correction on our social media. It is it's going to be at ATF Above The Flame Cigars. for both Instagram and for our Facebook. So it's ATF Above the Flame Cigars for both those handles. And for our website, it's www.atfabovetheflamecigars.com. And we have a full e-commerce site up and ready to and working.
Okay, great. I'm so excited just to continue to support the Above the Flame brand. Southeast is my favorite, and I didn't even think I was a full body smoker. So that the quality of your cigars, because it's like, hey, wait a minute, I need a Southeast.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we're glad you love it.
Yeah. And stay tuned. Stay tuned to look out for new products, because as we bring new stuff in, we always advertise, like my partner say, we advertise everything on our social media. So, and on our website, everything is always up to date and done properly there as well. So, and everything is secured, all of that. So no one has to worry about, any type of security in terms of their credit cards.
Right, because that's a big thing nowadays.
It is.
It's always good to say it that you can order securely through
the
ATF Above the Flames.com cigar website.
Yes.
Yeah. You sure can.
I thank you all for joining me. My cooperated, didn't run at all. So.
It sure did.
We thank you. We truly
Very
appreciate
much.
you.
Truly.
We appreciate you giving us the opportunity to do this again,
Yes.
to interview us again. We know we saw you back in October, so we really appreciate your support. Thank you.
And feel free to reach out to us, a few months down the line before summer hits. If you want to talk to us again, we will have probably new product.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And by the way, I like your background. It's really cute.
Yes, thank you again, Cigar Q. We will be remiss not to appreciate that. Like I said, any opportunities, any invitations that we get, we're always very appreciative, because it again helps us to market and get our brand out there, and to let our public, our followers, our customers, and the non-customers and non-followers know who we are, so that they can come on and join the bandwagon as well. But yeah, research back, circle back with us, so we'll have some updates for you.
I certainly will. I can't wait to see you all. I'll be on your social media trying to see where you. You never know when I'm gonna pop up.
And also too, on our website.
Go ahead, Auntie.
On our website, we'll have our news and events posted there too. So once that's finished, we'll also be advertising all of our events on our calendar from our website as well. So every place that we have for our marketing, you can definitely see it'll all be updated. And you can always call us if you know.
Right.
You can call us
we're friends.
Exactly.
That's right.
Call us, email us, however you need to do it.
Yeah,
that's right.
I certainly will. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for this
Thank you.
afternoon. I wish you much success on your event nights. And like I tell everybody, get yourself a Southeast. You will be so delighted when you get this Southeast.
Yes.
Southeast.
Definitely. Definitely.
You all have a wonderful Saturday.
Too.
You too,
You
love.
as well.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.